Nope.
I have committed a crime, but I don't know what it was. If I knew, I would have told you. I would have told everyone. I would have told you 8 months ago. But not 8 months ago. 8 years ago? No, 8 months ago. It's been 8 months. I'm almost certain I know what year it was when I woke up there. But not anymore. I would have told you when I woke up in the white room. At first, I was blinded by it all. A white floor, white walls, white ceiling. I lay on a white mattress that's on the ground in the corner. A white, recessed light in the ceiling made everything around me glow. I wore white pants, white socks, a long-sleeved white shirt. As much of the room that could be featureless was. At first, I looked around the room, looking for a door, trying to remember how I had gotten there. I knew my name. I knew who I was. I could remember going to bed the night before in my apartment. I could remember what I had for dinner, what I watched on television. I still can. Those were the memories I carried for 8 months. They nearly drove me insane. About the room, there was no door. Believe me, I looked. From top to bottom of the room, I checked. I ran my fingers around the length of the entire room over and over again, looking for a seam. At first, I thought the room was insanely large, until I tripped over the mattress. I hadn't realized it in my search, but the room, painted that horrible white, made nearly blinding by the light in the ceiling, was round. The room was entirely round. If not for the mattress on the ground, I'm not sure how long I would have walked before I realized it. I learned to watch the mattress as I walked, feeling along the walls for anything to indicate a door. But there was nothing. I tried to yell at first, but sound in the room, it was wrong. It was dead in there, like the sound didn't travel beyond my lips. I could hear myself speak, but it wasn't right. There was no echo to my voice. As pointless as yelling became, I found myself yelling and crying at times that first day, demanding answers, demanding that they, whoever they were, to let me go. Hunger and thirst overwhelmed me, and I yelled for food and water. I yelled until I slept. When I awoke, the darkness of my eyelids were replaced by that horrible white. I sat up and I saw a blurred outline a few feet away from me. It took me a moment to realize that it was a cup. A small white cup with milk in it. Next to the cup was a small white bowl filled with white rice. I think I laughed. I think I laugh now when I remember that moment. I think. The absurdity of it all. The extent that someone had gone through to do such a thing to me made no sense in such a way that it became a joke. Milk and rice in a white room with white clothes. It was a game, a test, something I had agreed to but couldn't remember for some reason. What had I done? I drank the milk out of pure need. It smelled like milk, looked like milk when I touched it, but how could I really know what insanity was involved? The cool touch of the liquid on my fingertips made me realize that the milk could not have been there for very long. I hadn't missed it in my walk around the room, in my ranting and cursing before I passed out. The milk was cold. The rice was warm. Someone had just put them there. Someone had come into the room with no walls and no door. I looked up into the light. Had it come from there? Had these things been lowered into the room somehow? I don't know. At first, the pain was not knowing why I was there. Then, the pain was loneliness. Then, it was boredom. There was nothing to do in the white room. I would try doing push-ups or jogging in place, but it would only make me thirstier and hungrier, and my food portions never changed. I would resort to singing songs, counting as high as I could out loud just because, counting hair on my arms. It's been said that hell is other people, but that's wrong. Hell is being alone. You are your own hell. The memories became my pain. Trying to remember the taste of something as simple as water or as extravagant as steak. Trying to remember TV shows or movies or the touch of past lovers. These became the pain. The absence is the prison and the torture. Here is what I do know. Here are the rules of that place that I came up with. Number 1, if I don't sleep, I don't eat or drink. I forced myself to stay awake as long as I could, waiting to see someone come or something happen. But eventually, I had to sleep. I don't know if it was a series of minutes or hours or even days. There is no passage of time there, except the hair on my head and my face. But after a while, even that is hard to gauge, as I've never grown out my hair in the past. Number 2, I can't take off my clothes. After a while, there was a horrible sickness to this place. I grew to hate seeing white. Anger would boil up, and I would want the white to go away in any way possible. At first, I tried to bleed, tearing at a fingernail just enough so that I could make a droplet of blood come out and smear onto the ground. After doing that, I awoke with the stain gone and my hand bandaged in a white cast, completely immobile. My fear for what would happen next kept me from trying anything like that again. But it didn't take long to feel overwhelmed again. I cursed myself for not thinking of it sooner. I could just take off my clothes. Even the sight of my own naked, untoned flesh was better than the stark white world I was trapped in. Number 3, the cup and bowl were for more than just food. Yes, these were to serve as my toilet as well. They would be gone once I awoke, but as with everything else, if I tested the limits of my prison, I would be punished. The first time I did that, out of pure protest, regardless of the smell, I awoke to find the filth gone, the brown and yellow stains cleaned, but also there was no food. I awoke 3 more times without food or drink. The second time it happened, it was a mistake. Growing weak over time, I simply made a mistake. I challenge you to provide accurate aim consistently when squatting over a small bowl. This time, I awoke to find myself on the ground. My bed was gone, and it was never given back. This was perhaps the worst of all my pains. I grew to need my bed, not just for sleep, but because even with nothing else in the room, I could make out the shape of it against the wall. I needed that bed to anchor myself in a sea of endlessness. And it was gone. Weeks turned into months. Number 4. I am guilty of something. I begged and pleaded to be let go. I retold my entire life story over and over again, sharing every detail, every moment of my life, no matter how private or embarrassing that I could possibly remember. There was some reason I was there, and whoever put me there wanted something from me. Was it something I had done? Someone I knew? Some sin from years ago? Nothing. Just the blinding whiteness of my prison. When I awoke, 8 months had passed. I think. I can't remember for sure. It might as well have been 8 years. It felt even longer than that. I'm not the man I was. One day, I went to sleep on the floor, and the next, I awoke on the bed of my apartment. The darkness terrifying me as I opened my eyes. I feared that I had finally gone blind from all the white. But I hadn't. I had been released. I have no idea who took me or why. And that leads me to the 5th rule. The white room is not the prison. All I know is that I am not the man who I was. The man who remembered what color was. Who remembered what food tasted like that wasn't milk or rice. I was wrong about all of that. The memories were lies. I remember things being good, being better than my white world. I dreamed about a place I didn't have, and I was wrong. Other foods make me sick, and I cannot eat the rice I make or the milk I buy. The colors of the world blind and confuse me, and I find myself crying, staring at bare light bulbs, trying to find that white place again. I cannot bear this world of color and taste anymore. However, there is one place I have seen that has the perfect brilliance of my white place. One place where the light shines and I understand the rules. I'm good at the rules. You read the rules, right? Only 5. I learned those in only 8 months. I can hear it coming now, as the platform starts to shake, and the people wearing all the colors complain about it running late. I'm gonna stop writing now. I must stand and let the white light come to me down on the tracks. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Let me tell you, it is good to be back from that winter hiatus. I missed all of you dear listeners in my little freaky fam. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe for future videos. Now that the hiatus is over, I'll be back to posting at least once a week. Until next time, stay safe out there. I'll be seeing you in the next video.